Hello viewers, welcome to Health Profile. Today Dr. Jyoti Chabria is with us. Hi ma'am.
Hi Kritika.
How are you ma'am?
Great.
Ma'am, today we are going to discuss about the nutritional deficiencies. So like many people are suffering with this deficiency. Actually, what are the main causes of this nutritional deficiency?
As you rightly said, Kritika, there is a lot of nutritional deficiencies that we are picking up, especially vitamin D3 and B12. Yes. And well, if you ask me the causes for this, several. One is that people are not eating right. Okay. They're eating half the time from outside. They're not really eating home food, nutritionally cooked food. And a lot of processed foods is what they're eating. It's basically become a lifestyle change. Like lots of people have no time to cook, so they're just eating from out. They're eating processed
They're just
foods.
ordering and they're
Absolutely.
having their food.
So these in itself cause nutritional deficiencies. Also, there's absolutely lack of exercise. So the whole metabolism of the body is going for a toss. Actually, we are picking up a lot of D3 and B12 deficiencies now amongst patients, and so the deficiencies that we most predominantly see are D3 and B12. But of course, we come across vitamin A, vitamin B, all the vitamin E, because a lot of patients are complaining of hair fall today, which is directly related to vitamin E. So likewise, there are a lot of patients who are complaining of, vision, the numbers of the eyesight has gone up. That is lack of vitamin A, because vitamin A is the vitamin needed for eyesight. Okay. So like that, we are picking up a lot of, but predominantly it's vitamin D and B12.
Okay. Ma'am, what are the signs and symptoms of vitamin deficiency?
Well, I would think the first symptom of a vitamin deficiency would be energy levels being really low. Okay. People are getting tired very soon. Mm-hmm. They just don't feel like doing anything. Experiencing a lot of hair fall, okay. Not able to sleep, and skin acne problems, and okay. Things like
joint
that.
Joint pains also?
A lot of joint pains also, yes, because that is directly related to calcium and D3 actually. Okay. Yeah. Because it's all about circulation. So when your vitamins are low, even your minerals for that matter, if they are low, it affects all kinds of the entire part of all different parts of the body.
Ma'am, how you are going to diagnose those vitamin deficiency?
The way to diagnose, of course, clinically we take all their symptoms and we kind of make a judgment as to what deficiencies it could be there. But to document it, I always ask the patients to do a blood test, which will pick it up. Okay. So that we know what dosage of food supplements also to give them, or how to correct their diet on basis of how deficient they are.
Ma'am, what dietary changes you will prescribe to people who are malnutrition?
For people who are malnutrition, I would completely recommend a complete balanced diet. Okay. What is a balanced diet? A balanced diet is basically one which has carbohydrates, fats, proteins, water, minerals, all in the right proportion. It's not that any nutrient should be devoid. Even if a person is on weight loss, it's not that I don't include any kind of fat in their diet, because every nutrient has its own role to play. Yes. And all said and done, like fruits will have fructose, which is a natural sugar. Milk will have lactose.
They will avoid also.
Exactly. So we don't add extra sugar, but it anyway has some part of it, and it's needed by the body. So we would recommend, like a more protein diet for a person who's malnourished, especially because protein is the nutrient which helps in, the growth and the repair of worn out tissues and all of that. So when they are malnourished, we try to highlight the protein so that we can build up their immunity and they get nourishment from it. All said and done, like in malnourishment also, we pick up whatever vitamin deficiencies are there. Sometimes we see that even patients are deficient in micro minerals like selenium and zinc and all of that, and they experience a lot of hair fall and things like that. So when we correct those things by giving them antioxidant rich foods, or things like green tea or flaxseed, chia seeds, pumpkin seeds, sunflower seeds, we add it into their diet.
Actually, they have no idea. They will not think about the vitamin deficiency.
Absolutely.
They will think something else.
See, many people when they come to us and they say that we have hair fall, their first thought is, am I using the wrong shampoo? Yes. Have I got dandruff?
Maybe oil.
Is it because of that? Is the oil not suiting me?
Yes.
Something like that. But they least of it figure out that it could be just a nutritional deficiency. When corrected, corrects the problem in itself.
Okay. Ma'am, will you ask them to take supplements?
Yes, definitely. I would also correct it with a diet, depending on how low it is. Okay. But I would definitely recommend food supplements because, it's like this. If I were to tell a diabetic patient to have Karela juice, as everyone knows that bitter gourd is good for controlling sugar. But how many days is a patient going to have Karela juice? 1 day, 2 days, 5 days, then he'll say Karela is not there, there's no servant has not come,
Yes.
and so many other practical problems. So these food supplements basically have the right ingredients like Karela, Jamun, Neem, all of that in the right proportion in a culmination. And actually it's not the isolation of an ingredient that works. It's a combination that works the best. Like for example, if a patient comes with a low hemoglobin, and I say, okay, eat spinach or eat, drumstick or eat ragi or something like that. But without vitamin C, iron does not get absorbed. So, yeah. So, like in a product like mine, I have palak, methi, amla, and vitamin C is very rich. Amla is full of vitamin C. So, when you have vitamin C added to an iron quotient, the absorption happens and the result comes. So, many patients will come and say, Madam, we are eating a lot of palak, but our iron is not, hemoglobin is not improving. Why is that so? That's because you should never mix an iron tablet with a glass of milk or something. It is best absorbed when you have it with something rich in vitamin C. So it could be guava juice, orange juice, whatever. Or you use a food supplement which is absolutely a culmination of all the right combinations. And that gives you the magic.
Ma'am, what are the common signs of iron deficiency?
Okay. This is again very rampant. A lot of patients we feel. In fact, the Indian woman, ideally, if you look at the labs, the ideal reading would be 12 to 15. But Indian women are never more than 10.
Yes.
Because we are all Mother India. We are looking after everyone else, the husband, the children, the in-laws, the house, the pet, everyone. And we look after ourselves the least,
Yeah.
It's only when we really feel those symptoms and we test our blood and we say, Arey, our hemoglobin 7, that we, wake up. So, but the signs of, low iron would be getting tired very easily. That's fatigue, one. You have breathlessness.
Okay.
You have palpitation. You have tremors.
Okay.
You have blackouts. You feel like it's all hazy. But it all depends on how severe is the anemia. But anemia can definitely be corrected with food supplements and also eating right in terms of diet.
So, what kind of supplements do you suggest for them, ma'am?
I would, without an iota of doubt, recommend Nutriline food B12 with iron because it is actually made out of nothing but palak, methi, amla, things like that. We know that palak and methi and things like these are rich in iron, but we need the vitamin C, which is the amla, to get the best absorption out of it. So my patients normally, because lots of patients when they take allopathy iron, they complain of dark stools and constipation. But because this is the one I'm talking about, Nutriline B12 with iron is made out of food, it is fiber rich. So if you're fiber rich, you cannot have constipation for one. And two, it's the right combination, so it gives you the results. It's like just eating vegetables, but in a different form. That's the whole thing. So, and it has the right combination of vegetables in the right proportion, so it does the trick.
Now, what is the normal level of iron in women?
See, normally what I see amongst patients is, normally it varies between 10 and 10.5 in adult women. In fact, even I have some young teenagers who are like 7 and 8, which is really low, But they are oblivious of it till we do a blood test.
Yeah.
They don't even think that there's anything wrong. They do complain, I'm feeling tired, I'm losing a lot of hair, but they don't know why. But it's only when they come to us and we start doing a couple of tests and we pick it up and we, then they realize, oh, this was the cause. Because once we correct it with all these nutritional food supplements, they feel much, in 3 weeks they come back saying thank you to me.
Okay.
And all this hair fall and all that stops, their energy levels go up. So then we can definitely correlate that yes, this was the deficiency and this has been rectified.
How it is important to maintain a normal level?
To maintain a normal level of iron, it is very important to eat right choices of food.
Okay.
I wouldn't say, a youngster or a child would never eat a pizza or a burger. He should. But on the other hand, it should be under control. Maybe once a week on a weekend, you're having a, little like a cheat day, fine. But by and large, things like, if I were to tell a child, like I work with several schools today, if I tell the child you eat palak or spinach, they're a little averse to the idea.
Yes.
But if I same way, if I tell the child you eat Popeye, it's a character, it's a comic character, and I relate it to that, then they say wow. Secondly, like when I work with schools and I say to the children, okay, now today I'm going to be planning your menu, so what would you like to have? So they'll all come up and say burgers and pizzas. So I say, okay. And the school management is very shocked that, how are you allowing burgers and pizzas? But what we do is, we make a multigrain bread. We make a soya cutlet. Okay, and we add little ragi, which is rich in iron. So we add the ingredients that are rich in iron, and we garnish it with the cherry and the pineapple and everything with the lettuce and all of that, and they feel
Definitely
they've
that's
got their
going to be
absolutely.
very
It's
good.
a win-win situation because they
Yes.
are happy and so am I, because
Healthy
I know
food.
what I've done,
Yes.
and they feel they're eating the burger. So
Yes.
it's a win-win.
Without knowing them, they will
Absolutely.
eat it. So what are the signs and symptoms of vitamin deficiency? A.
A. Vitamin deficiency A is basically related to the eyes. So we see a lot of people complaining of eye fatigue. There's something called as eye fatigue, where they feel very tired, when their eyes hurt. Actually, even really, if you go to see nowadays, half the world is in this corporate world is sitting next to that laptop.
Yes.
And where they used to work 8 hours, they're working 14 hours continuously at the laptop. So obviously, there's a strain on the eye muscles. So a lot of patients are complaining about headache because it's all related. ENT, it's like ENT, ear, nose, throat, and lots of patients are now coming to us with migraines because I would totally attribute this to sitting in front of the computer or the WhatsApp, because if you're not
What
on the
is the
computer,
link between the A, vitamin deficiency A to the migraine? Ma'am?
it's basically a culmination of, it won't be only a vitamin A deficiency, but it will be vitamin A, E, D, C, all of them. So they all result in, some kind of stress, and it causes a headache to a lot of people. Like I've had this patient who was who's a jeweler, and he was suffering from migraine for the past, I think, 12 years. And he went to every doctor that he could to get treated for it. But when he came to me, I was just correcting all his vitamin deficiencies, which I could pick up from his history, clinical history, what I took. And once I gave him these right food supplements, he came back thanking me and said, "Ma'am, I have gone to so many doctors and nothing helped me. I took all the allopathic drugs I could think of, but these have helped me."
Nobody
So,
determined the main cause.
Exactly, the root cause was not picked up. Likewise, even in infertility and things like that, I've seen in infertility centers, the people are having a lot of, like they read J and K without correcting A and B. So sometimes when we correct the B12, D3 and the other deficiencies, they respond to the same treatment.
Yes, exactly.
So that's how it works. It's very important to see the root, the foundation, and then build from there, rather than just going there and then going
Nobody will
backwards.
go to the nutritional dietitian. They will go to somebody else.
Yes, because they I think, yes, today I would say we are getting its regard, but in many years ago it wasn't so
Yes.
regarded at all.
Yes.
It wasn't a speciality in itself.
Exactly.
Today people are aware. They're more interested. They want to
considering,
know.
Yes. Doctor, what is the difference between the physiotherapy and chiropractic?
Okay, basically there
Because
are
actually they do the same.
okay.
We don't find any difference in it actually.
Basically, different systems of medicines, their philosophies and their the way